rises. Creation finds its voice again.
The mothers have returned. Behold, the matriarch.
We are the light, the water, and the shadow.
Allah for your peace and blessings from number 11 of Arisha Stone. Tonight we have a very amazing guest, Miss V Indigenous. Or what would you like to be called by, Goddess?
V is good. Veronica, V Indigenous.
Yes, ma'am. And I have you here tonight because first off,
whatever's easier for you.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a real. It's the Wolf Moon, and so it's kind of dope that I got you on. I really don't do a lot on the Wolf Moon because there's a lot of weird audacity and crazy energies running around right now. But I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to speak to you because you have a lot of information and solid information. A lot of people just hear this self-talk. I'm not really on that. I want to talk to see how we can improve each other as a people, as a tribe, or whatever we want to call ourselves. So tell me about yourself. First off, what tribe are you from?
So I have a lot of different tribal ancestry, like we all do, right? We're not just one thing, but traditionally known as the Yamasee, Cree. I have Lumbee ancestry, so I have in my ancestry. Organization, nonprofit organization called IronTribe.org. It was founded in 2010. Basically, help Black Americans who are trying to reconnect with their indigenous ancestry.
Yes, ma'am.
So this isn't anything that I rediscovered. It was something that I was born into. I was raised into this culture, and it was always a weird divide. Meaning, growing up, if you were a Black person, a so-called Black person, African-American person, you appeared that way, and you claimed to have indigenous ancestry, it was more or less taken as a joke. So one thing that I wanted to do was, being someone that grew up in the tribal world or the indigenous world, I wanted to show Black Americans that it wasn't a joke, because in the cultures that we're used to here in the United States, we're the minority. Even amongst the minority. So when we're in those spaces, we're still considered the minority. And a lot of the times when people are looking in on us, they don't understand that they're actually looking at a mirror. They are us. So my organization was founded basically to show most Black Americans that they do have indigenous ancestry. This is their land. This is their home. And we've helped thousands of Black Americans repatriate back into their tribe, join their tribes, find tribal land, find ancestral lands, different things like that, to strengthen the foundation of their own family, not just your tribe, because a tribe is nothing but a bunch of families. A tribe is 5 or more families combined together, moving together for one goal.
Thank you for saying that. You have no idea how you hit a home run without me even saying something, because we had one imposter come around us, and it's funny when the white man says it, when everybody else says something about us being indigenous to this land, and when they can make $1 off of saying things about us, they'll say it. But when we say it about ourselves, it's no, well, yeah, the Black Americans, but not y'all Black Americans. Yeah, the indigenous of Black Americans of America, of ancient America, were the Mayans and the Olmecs, but it's just not y'all, but it was them. But so they always got this little weird obsession with us and trying to dictate who claims what. And I'm glad to have you on, because I've had a couple conversations with people where they feel like, or you said that some people felt like they were disrespected because we didn't come to them the correct way to get the traditions, the oral traditions from those them 6 ether Mongolian so-called tribes. So like long story short, they pretty much told us that we're not real tribes.
Conversation that we kind of tapped on yesterday.
Yes, ma'am. You can hear me?
I'm sorry, you was breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, it's probably bad weather right now, so we're both breaking up a little bit. Can you say what you said again to what I just said, or did you hear me at all?
So can you?
You said you wanted me to
Yeah, I'm getting a
repeat?
little bit right. I didn't hear what you said at all.
Okay. Well, okay. So my point was that there's a lot of these so-called red man Indians or whatever that are saying that we're not going through protocol. We're supposed to go through them to get these oral traditions, and we're not really a tribe. That's what one of them just recently told me. We're not really a tribe, but he literally makes money telling the rest of the world that we're this tribe. So it's like, okay, when we come together and unify amongst each other, they say, oh, we're faking, we're pretending, we're this, or we're that. But when they say it, like, what kind of game are these people playing, and why do they feel like they have authority over us?
Right.
In,
So that's a
these
very
so-called
good question, and that's twofold. That's a very good question. And so the reason why they feel like they have an authority, because these people have already taken a pact with the federal government. In every single one of their federal documents, it doesn't matter the tribe that you look at. You can go to the BIA, you can pull it up on .gov, congress.gov, you can find their paperwork, their documentation. Every single one of them have admitted to being misclassified as Negro. Every single one of them have admitted to being called Black at some point, and they have had to denounce that and to only that they have also agreed to not allow you into tribes, and this signed. We can pull these things up. They agreed to not let us in their tribes, Negro, unless we are related to them. And when I say them, I'm not talking about the original people. I'm talking about the TV, Hollywood, Six Ether, Mongoloid, whatever the case may be, that we are somehow related to them. So they want to tell the story, and their whole thing is to spin the story like we come from them and they don't come from us. That's why you see the term Afro-Indigenous popping up. Okay. And that's a term it rubs me the wrong way. It just depends on who's saying it and the way they're using it. I don't have a problem with the term Afro-Indigenous, but generally they want us to all self-identify as Afro-Indigenous. The Afro-Indigenous people to me are the indigenous Americans that they shipped from America, some of my ancestors, to Liberia and founded Liberia in Africa. Those are Afro-Indigenous people. But now what they say is you have to be biracially mixed to be Afro-Indigenous, meaning one of your parents has to be a Mongoloid and the other one is a Black American. And that's where the term Afro-Indigenous come from. And it's all about semantics and politics. So when we claim that we're the original people, not only does it trigger them because they have to admit something, but also they took a pact with the federal government. So when you think about when you're contracting with the federal government, the Lumbee is a perfect example. The Lumbee just received federal recognition a few weeks ago. The Lumbee has closed their enrollments. So for the past 30 years, when the Lumbee Indians were not federally recognized, they were only state recognized, their enrollment was open. As soon as they were about to get federal recognitions, what they do is they close their rolls. They don't let anybody enroll. Okay. And then they say, after they receive federal recognition, they'll open their rolls up again, but they'll say, hey, you have to be now related to Lumbees who are on the 2020 rolls. Now we know the 2020 rolls of Lumbee are not the original bloodline of the Lumbee. But that's sort of a way for them to police who they allow in the tribe now. So one thing that has to happen for anybody to repatriate back into a tribe. And somebody said Lumbee non-indigenous. Lumbee are just an amalgamation of a bunch of different tribes. They're not ancient, they're not a historic people. And it says they're a combination of a lot of different tribes in that area. So that's a way for them to comb out and to basically practice against us. That's how they do it. That's literally how they do it. They if I can find my ancestors on the old Dawes rolls and I can say, hey, I found my great granddad on the old Dawes rolls, they're going to say, well, we don't use those rolls anymore. We use the 2020 rolls to decide if you're a Lumbee now. So one thing we've been doing. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Okay. So one thing that we've been doing, and we've been making so much noise in this industry for in this field of this research and this type of knowledge, for so long now, they can't hide the information anymore. And so they have to tell the truth, but these people speak with forked tongues. So for us to repatriate back into a tribe, they're going to say you need an unbroken chain of genealogy proving that you relate to us. What an unbroken chain of genealogy means is a paper trail, basically. It means you start with yourself, you have your birth certificate, and you have your parents' birth certificates if your parents are still alive. If they're dead, you have their death certificates. And then you have your grandmother's death certificate stating that she's related to your mom and her birth certificate, going all the way back until you find a tribal roll. Someone listed on a tribal roll. And that's how you rejoin a tribe. They can't deny you. But if they can control what role you have to be tied down to, then they can discriminate at will. And that's what they all do.
And I'm sorry that your like the weather's bad for on both sides, so you chopping up a little bit, and I don't want to lose your wisdom because you dropping it on us heavy. But that also goes back to my initial question: why do we even have to check in with them anyway? Like, we don't have to check in with them, especially when we say their tribes. If we know that they're the Pretendians, if we know that they're the $5 Indians, if we know that everything about them is fraudulent, and everything else, then why do they feel like why do we feel like we have to check in with them? So when they say we're not tribe, because if you say you Yamasee, and you from where you're from, right? You feel like telling people where you're from, Goddess?
Oh, I'm from the Carolinas.
Okay. I thought you said you stayed in you're in Orlando now.
Oh yeah, I live down in South Florida, Central Florida area, but my ancestry goes back to Carolinas, like most people, Georgia, Florida, this area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. My people are actually from Plant City, and I grew up in Orlando, Raleigh Street on West Side. So it's like, yeah, I all this is important to me. When you were talking about the Yamasee, I thought you had a connection with that down there in Florida. Now for us, when we grew up, we know where we are. We say where we are. We got the artifacts. We got all these different things, and we went to the so-called official tribes and all this, and we returned away. This and everything else, but does that change who I am? If you say that I'm not a black man, does that change me from being a black indigenous, whatever you want to call me? That doesn't change who I am, what I am. And when we get out this that I don't even want to get into that same Moor consciousness where Moors be like, oh, you got to sign a piece of paperwork before you this. Wait a minute. You just said I was just thousands of years before paperwork. That's what you said I was. But now I got to sign a piece of paper and pay you. That sounds too much like extortion for me. That sounds too much like bowing down.
And so they do extortion too. Is their version of extortion, because it's written in the law that in order to be classified as an American Indian, you have to be recognized and known amongst the community. So they have to basically accept you and welcome you and say, hey, this person's, we see them at powwows. They identify as Indian all the time. They're not wishy-washy. They're not back and forth. 5 years ago, this person wasn't a Hebrew Israelite. This person wasn't a Moor. This person has always been a part of the indigenous community, and they're recognized and respected in the community. And that is the law. Like, we can go back. So for my people, it was simple as this. A claim by a white person, a simple claim by a white person to say you were a Negro and you associated with Negroes was enough to make an Indian a black person and put them in slavery. All a white person had to do was go to court and testify and say, that's not an Indian. I seen them at the club hanging out with black people, calling themselves black, dressing like those blacks. They're not Indian, and you're enslaved.
Like I said, they laws, their treaties. When I say Timucua, I mean that from all etymology of the word outlaw. I'm not one of the civilized tribes that do treaties and things of that nature. My ancestors scalp them for a living. You know what I'm saying?
See, our Yamasee, we that means runaway. We were Yamasee Seminoles. Seminole means a runaway, wild ones, the ones they couldn't contain.
So you're down there by the Kissimmee River, right?
Yeah, I live right on the Kissimmee River.
Yeah, look up Kissimmee River. I don't know if you can see this well. Can you see this?
That statue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. What, is he on a dragon?
Yeah, that's the dragon of Kissimmee, the Kissimmee River serpent. It's an old, what they call Seminole or Yamasee tale. Now the thing is, the Mongolians, they don't have these artifacts. They don't have connection to these artifacts. They're trying to hide these artifacts. But what you just saw was it's a story about two boys that they were on the forest fishing and hunting, and one of them he didn't take the heed of one of the elders said, if you find a fish out of place, don't eat it. He was like, yo, I was hungry, I ate it, whatever. It's a whole seminar story that they tell you as a youngin. But if you look on it, it's a little boy with an afro on it. You know what I'm saying? And he's on top of his serpent. The serpent is his friend. I don't want to ruin the story for y'all, but these are just traditions that get passed down to us, regardless of anything. Just like when grandma told you to put aloe on your scars or anything. So what I'm saying is, because there's way too many people comfortable talking about black people that ain't black people or indigenous people, whatever we want to call ourselves, that's our business. But there's way too many other people that can't stand in the sun and can't even communicate in nature and had to go to school to learn how to dance and how to, you know what I'm saying? There's way too many of them trying to tell non-ethers how to do anything or who we are.
Got comfortable with that. Society has given these people a place.
Like authority.
Cookout invites have given these people a place to feel comfortable enough to feel like, everybody feel like they can tell black people who they are.
But then when we say something, it's the problem. So I'm the type of person, fuck all them, excuse me, my apologies, forget all them old clans, old ideologies. When I say indigenous futurism, and I call my clan and my tribe, I call the clan that I did the research on my land and realized that Chief Century ran all these lands, and it's Timukawa, and they can't deny his blackness. They can't deny his indigenous melanated skin, or all of the chiefs. If you go to Alabama and look up Chief Tuscaloosa, the Black Warrior, you see what I'm saying? Y'all, it's only the stupidity, like dummies and bots that we're arguing with, and I don't have to argue with them right now. So right now, what we're having a conversation about is, for all those 60s that say we're not a tribe, what actually defines the word tribe? What is a tribe? I need you to explain that for me for a second.
So a tribe is 5 or more families. So would they look at it as band, clan, tribe? The tribe is the nation. Your tribe is your nation. Your band or your clan is your immediate family. So once let's say your brother, your sister, and a couple of friends get together, y'all can be a band. And then you get 3 more families, you're a clan. It's just a group of families. It's just a community until you get enough families that will create what's called a nation. And to be a nation, you have to be recognized by other nations, and that's all it takes. To be considered a nation, you have to be recognized by another nation.
I'm trying to control thank you for saying that. That like I just got a phone with Rod. Like I said, it's a wolf moon, and on this wolf moon, a lot of people expose themselves, and we're on a hunt, and there's a lot of weird energy out. So when you say that, this is why I tell melanated people, because I know melanated people on the reservations in Oklahoma. We know melanated people in Georgia, and everybody has their different perspective of how they're living their indigenous life. So that's why I strive to the like-minded people. I'm not trying to save everybody, but the like-minded people to come together, because once we come together, this is the most scariest thing for all of them. Like literally the most scariest thing.
You can see it.
You can see the cowardice. They will come up with all sorts of feminine ways to try to throw monkey wrenches in there, to hate on us, to stop us from evolving. My whole page is Black economics, indigenous economics, whatever you want to call it. It don't matter what we call it. I want to see you with a bunch of coins. I want to see your coins right. I want to see my people with all their coins right. I want to see us. If you say that you're more, show me you're more. Don't talk that more shit. Let me go build some palaces. Go build some palaces that give free magnetic energy. If you talking about you indigenous, let's get on that. That's all we asking. If you really own your indigenous stuff, don't just say it, because there's a bunch of frauds out here, and there's a bunch of agents out here trying to throw a monkey wrench, and they're watching us, and they're screenshotting, and they're watching everything we do to try to sabotage us. And they're playing close to us. They're acting like they cool with us and everything else. But when we become tribe, we got to get on code with each other, man. And that's all that matters. Like, they can say whatever, but by law, you got
to be important in that too. Language is going to be super important in that. So whatever tribe that you're associated with, learning the language of your tribe, because you cannot. That's the reason why there's never been a really successful revolution in America, because you cannot have a revolution without a language. Because if you are speaking the colonizer's language, they're always going to know what your next move is going to be. So we need to take it more seriously. Get off the internet or get in private groups and start learning the language. at findyourtribe.org, not only do I speak my tribal language, I also speak Tut. Tutnese. I teach Tut.
Say something, guys.
Huh?
Can you say something for us?
Yeah, Puppy A Cuddy. How she squalalo. Mummy Yak, Nane Mummy, Bubby Ruddo, Nane Kadai.
I say.
Oh, you want me to speak Hatichi? You know, Shetamo, Hitoklo, Lechani. I need Veronica. This isn't something that we get on the internet and pretend. We in the field. We know who we are. Not only that, but we are privately building ourselves, because when we have to have these types of conversations, it's not going to be in English.
Yes, ma'am.
It can be vibrational. It can be frequency. And if you are receiving those downloads, you get those downloads. But when we're talking to each other, we need to be able to talk without these people knowing what we're saying. I taught my children how to speak these languages. So now when we go through the airport, they asking us, what language you speaking? Well, you in Florida. Why you don't speak the indigenous language of the Floridians? Why you don't speak our language? You in our homeland. Why you not speaking our language? The language that's indigenous to Florida, why you don't speak it? You know, they looking at us, they speaking Spanish and all this other stuff. And then when we bust out speaking Tut or any other language, say, what language is that? I've never heard that before. Well, get off my land. How about that?
Man, I speak a language a lot of people don't speak. I'm bilingual. I'm bilingual in currency. I speak money. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right.
I'm really trying to, like, people be acting like we supposed to be woke and broke. No, I believe that the same way that y'all spent all that money given to Somalians, all the money you give to the Khazarians, all that money y'all give to Cubans, all that money you give to everybody else, if they were to take that money, guess what? We don't need y'all money now, because we know that no matter what, I'm talking about Venezuela just got bombed, and for some strange reason, in the mainstream news, people are still worried about what black people are doing. like think about it. All the war around the world, and people have time on the 5 o'clock news to stop. Hey, and in black people's business, what do they call it?
Black American business, reporting live.
Look, and come to find out, the people that are putting out most of these blogs and videos don't be black themselves. They watch us.
They came out with that. Like, a lot of those accounts that are on the internet that are Black Power pages aren't even run by black people, are not even in the Americas.
And neither here nor there. I'm glad you said that. That's a whole topic for another conversation, another time. But that's something we all got to start paying attention to. Who's behind? Some of these people don't show their face, and when they're showing their face, they saying one thing but meaning something else, and it's all to distract and divide. That's the whole point: is divide and conquer. If you're in the military and you know you're weak as hell, and you know you're a coward, and you know you can't run up head to head, they'll come in as a friend. They come in with their Trojan horse.
Living through COINTELPROs, we talk about it on the internet as if it was something of the past, not realizing that whatever the modern version of that is, we're currently living through it right now. So we have to look at it with today's, put glasses on it with today's lenses in it, modern lenses in it, and say, who are the agents around us? We are in the middle of a COINTEL program right now, and who are the agents?
And for me,
the people that killed MLK, the people that killed Martin Luther King, they all look like them. They always going to send somebody that look like us, or somebody that we'll accept, to infiltrate our movements. So if we don't have traditions and customs and language and ways to weed that out, then, everybody's at the cookout.
Everybody's at the cookout. And now, and I be the one wrong when I was like, no. If they got to, no, man. At this point in time, I'm sorry, because there's a lot of people that be real friendly, and I'm like, I don't forget disrespect. I'm at a bracket where I don't forget the disrespect. I don't forget how many times they turn their backs. I don't forget that we've been fighting for this and for all this time, and y'all never stood with us. But now that it's cool or deemed, because think about it, the so-called information that these people be putting out ain't even new information. You see what I'm saying? None of this information is new. It just is a new face of saying it. Sometimes y'all want to hear a white boy say it. Sometimes y'all want to see us.
They're recycling a lot of our old information.
Look at the 5% book, and I can name all the books. They call me the bookman for a reason. I can name every single book because I didn't get put down in this. I was born in it. You know what I'm saying? So my mom studied in different nations. So it's like the 5%.
They know you and see you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, some people, they're trying to live it. They'll go buy my dashiki. They'll do all these different things and don't know why they're doing it. And some people, like, they be trying to play us like we brand new. I'm gonna talk to you like a child. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what Native Black American been through. We've all been through something. Y'all are back to that wolf moon. like there's a lot of beta male energy where everybody's, oh, my emotions, my feelings. And that's what I'm saying. That's when we got it. That's when I don't allow because in my tribe, we don't allow that soft shit. It's do or don't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they're a chief. You better be a chief of something or we're going to expose you. You got to be a chief of something. Are you a blacksmith? Are you a mechanic? Are you a plumber? Are you a carpenter? Are you a mason? Are you a jeweler? Are you a healer? Are you a doula? These people be talking from high levels of places where you can't be touched. So neither here nor there. For our tribe, the guy that said learn the language, you said you teach the class. How can we get, like, I want to learn the language, but like I said, I'm not going to learn from somebody that's going to look me in my face and they can tell me anything. So if you're saying that we can trust you and you do a class, how can we get in contact with you for the class? You there, Goddess?
Yeah, findyourtribe.org. That's how.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, I was reading backwards on my perspective.
Okay, let me flip it. Hold on, because it's showing backwards to me. So I was like, let me flip it. But findyourtribe.org. We do genealogy, we do language classes, we do one-on-one research, we do group classes. So just depending on where you are in your journey, our job is to help you get to where you're trying to get further along in your journey. Everybody, when we talk about, and a lot of the things that you're talking about, you got to understand these people are their ancestors in the same way that we are our ancestors. This is why knowing who you are, man, know thyself, is probably one of the most universal quotes, but it is one of the most necessary quotes that people just throw out there. When we say man, know thyself, your most recent ancestors, the most recent 32 ancestors that have passed away in your bloodline, directly related to you, directly make up your personality. So if you don't know these people and you can't call these people by name, you don't know where your strengths and weaknesses are coming from. You don't know who you are. Forget Asar and Aset. Forget, Chief whoever from 100, 200, 300 years ago. Who is your great grandfather? Can you call his name when you go into prayer? When you need help, do you know his first and last names and you can summon him? That's important. You need to know who those people are because they make up your current personality. And when I teach genealogy, being a priestess, I teach it from a completely spiritual perspective. So before I start any type of research session, I'm always going to say a prayer. I'm always going to get a glass of water and I'm always going to let a white candle out and set it up for the ancestors and say, guide me. This is your work. Show me what you want me to see. And they will unveil themselves to you in ways you have never seen because they have been screaming for someone in the bloodline to come along and uncover them, pay them respect, give them the things that they need on their spiritual journey because they're continuing on a journey themselves, even though they're not here in the physical. We like to romanticize the ancestors, right? And we'll romanticize gods and goddesses and we'll romanticize it, but we don't know our third big mama name, our third great grandmother's name. And you can jump to Asar or Set or, anybody else. You need to know who Big Mama's grandmama was. You need to know who your great-great-grandfather was because the amount of blood that was shed on this land for you to be here, your ancestors, it's almost disrespectful for our people to jump from America and try to jump back to Africa. It's a step. You got to walk backwards. Even if you think you come from Africa, you ain't been there for 500 years.
Minimum.
The last 500 years worth of your ancestors died, worked, had babies, bled, sweat and tears is poured into this land. And so for you to disrespect the land under your feet that nourishes you and jump to a whole nother continent, that's crazy to me.
I see. You right on, Goddess. Thank you for that.
So that's why I don't subscribe to DNA. I tell people don't do DNA. Is a waste of time. You know what DNA is good for? A criminal database. They're building a criminal database.
I see.
So you submit your DNA to that. That's what's going to happen. They're going to put it in a criminal database. And if anybody in your bloodline ever commits a crime, you already sold them out. You a snitch.
Damn.
You put your DNA into one of these companies. Genealogy is king. Genealogy is going to tell you the who, the when, the where, the what, who your ancestors were, where they lived, who lived with them, how long they lived there, If they moved, when you're gonna know at the day in and day out of these people's lives, you're gonna have a documented paper trail of it. It's undisputable. You can't
I'm gonna rock
dispute.
with it. Look, I'm most definitely going because I already know who my people are. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna send it to you, and we should do it online when we do it. Do it for me one time. How much you gonna charge me?
So everything is at the link in the bio. It just depends on how. Have you done your work yet? Have you started anything?
My grandfather's Thomas Jefferson Lundy. My grandma is Anna Mae Lundy. My grandfather's Thomas Jefferson Lundy for a reason, because of who his father was, and you can do, look, like you say, Jen, all you gotta do is look his name up and see who's he's child of. I know where all my people come from different angles. I don't want to say where all of them come from, but yeah, I know my bloodline really don't even go back to Africa, but I'm just real big on unity and who fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? My bloodline goes to a lot of different places. It goes to Panama. It ends up in Ireland. Thank you, love. Also, Untitled Nations adapts the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People as contained in Annex to Present Resolution 107th plenary meeting 13th of September 2007. Annex United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. The General Assembly, guided by the purpose and principle of the character of the United Nations and good faith and fulfillment of the obligations assumed by state in accordance with the charter, affirming the indigenous people are equal to all other peoples, with recognizing the rights of all peoples to be different, to consider themselves different, and to be respected as such, affirming also that all peoples contribute to the diversity and richness of civilizations and cultures which constitute the common heritage of human mankind. You caught that, guys? Rod just sent me that.
The Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People?
Yes, ma'am. Rod sent me that. He was supposed to be popping in.
A lot of the things that they do when, you know, they're professional gaslighters, like these 6 ethers that you say you were having to deal with. A lot of them are professional gaslighters, right? Because they know what they're doing is not only is it against the Indigenous Rights Bill, right? So the indigenous rights, the rights of indigenous people, it clearly states that every person has a right to a nationality. Every person has a right to identify with their indigenous nation. Every person, you can't deny these things, but yet they constantly gaslight us and try to deny us of these same things.
I see. Yes, ma'am. I'm listening to you. So, guys, you got a cash up. Can you put your cash up in the chat for me, please?
Yeah.
Your cash app, and you put your cash app in, and if you want to put your the name of your company in one more time for us so they can see it, and I'll pin it. And thank you again for coming on with us tonight, because I know you have a wealth of wisdom and knowledge that a lot of us be seeking. They be acting like our people be dumb, like we don't be doing research. Like they say, oh, you went way to Africa for this knowledge. Wasn't nobody in America giving this knowledge away for free. Well, like we went around the world trying to find ourselves, and that's what made us the most powerful, baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Because our minds went to China trying to find ourselves. We done went to Australia trying to find ourselves. We done went to Africa trying to find ourselves.
We done taught history to the world trying to find out who we are.
Find ourselves. So it's like at this point in time, y'all done fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, guys. I get, you know what I'm saying, but just the amount of information that they go out their way to try to hide and demonize and put us down. The same people. And then the crazy part is, one dude, he makes a living off of talking about us, right? And in his whole making a living about talking about us, he talks about our culture. Check this out. But then they see things and they be like, you're demonic. And I'd be like, what's demonic? The horns? Because in my belief, that represents the great mothers. That represents Hathor. That represents all these different things, and both sides of the pond. Like all these different things. There's not one symbol that means something here that don't mean something the same on this land too. So it's like they talk about us and they study us, but they really don't want us to get into our ancient traditions. They try to throw that in our face. Look, this dude just on video talking about some, I pay attention to signs and symbols. Yeah, I know that's demonic. Bro, you make videos about Black people, indigenous Americans all day, every day, and don't know what an Indinkra is. You don't know what none of our symbols mean. You don't know what any of our hieroglyphics or none of our symbols mean. And if you're so, why are you really studying us, or you just putting us?
Look, we don't have to study. Don't study us. Study you. Why
Study
is this a
your
Mayan goddess? I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
I got a statue. Hold on.
Ishgale and the moon goddess. This is a Mayan goddess. This is how they painted themselves. This is how they painted themselves. Notice her locks. You see her locks? They worship. So no.
I'm back, guys. Hold on. I had to show this.
But like, as you saw that I was in Mexico, when I went to Mexico.
That's the goddess that you just showed.
I got so much stuff. You saw some stuff that I was, yeah, it's beautiful.
No, when you go to Mexico, they have this big, beautiful statue sitting in the middle of the ground. Like, you can't miss it. It's a big, beautiful black woman that's holding up serpents. Wait a minute. That's just like Mama Wata. She's just like I don't care. We can say that
Medusa and everybody else.
Yeah, we be like, oh, y'all shouldn't tap into that African religion, but you tap into a European religion? Because what is Christianity? But you tap into an Arab religion? Because what is Islam? All these religions have always been your enemy, but we'll die for Islam, and Islam's gonna laugh in your face because they still over there castrating niggas to this day. Christians are still laughing at y'all because they still hanging and castrating and raping women to this day. Like, what are y'all talking about right now? They all that shit is an illusion. And after, especially, it seemed like it was more apparent fake shit. The psyops, the fake news, the crisis actors. I thought because it was more obvious, more people would wake up to it. People still be damn, you know what I'm saying? The rage baiting, the all the fake shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate talking to you.
It's very hard to believe that, you know, there's still people that subscribe to Southern Baptist Christianity. Because, you know, I see the people, and I completely understand when the Africans and the Ethiopians, and they'll come out and they say, you know, Christianity isn't a white man's thing. It was in Ethiopia, you know, prior to white man getting it. That's all fine and well for Africa and the Ethiopians. What about your black ass granny in the South? You're not going to explain Baptist, Pentecostal. You're not going to spin that on me like that was something that your people practiced prior to. You know, it's just decolonizing the mind.
Is it,
and that's
and we
one
can
of the hardest things to do.
It's not in 2026. It's not when we got cell phones. Now, even the agents, the way the agents get to you is they'll put out the information. That's how easy it is right now, because they know they can't. Like when they said that, people would always say that everything has to be revealed. Who did you think they were sending agents to reveal it? They had to send the agents to reveal it, but what they do is they add a lot of misinformation. They add a lot of mischievous. They're giving it to us mischievously. You see what I'm saying? To keep everybody bickering. If your message, this is how you can tell an agent. If his number one message ain't unity, he's an agent. If everything he comes out his mouth is trying to divide the people, he's an agent. Because I don't give a fuck who you is. Right now, y'all are worried about Diddy, and I said this before. Everybody's worried about what Diddy doing, but you're not worried about what the government officials are doing, because it's the same party going on. It's the same exact party, even a little worse. If you think about it, they were at the same parties on certain islands. I don't know nothing about nothing, but I'm just saying we have a right to discontinue ourselves away from that. Just as human beings, as indigenous tribe, we have a right to say, yo, we don't want no parts of this shit here. We don't have to vote on your horse. We don't have to vote on your mule or your elephant. We don't give a fuck about your Republican, no Democrat. We don't care if you like pizzas or third world country people. That's none of our business. Y'all run y'all shit. Y'all gonna run it, and let us have some land, and we gonna stay out y'all business, because we can be self-sufficient.
I love that. And so that's what I do professionally. Basically, I connect with people like yourselves who are already organized themselves into a family, a clan, a band, or a tribe, and we work on sovereignty-centered economic empowerment. We say sovereignty-centered, because America is crumbling. The United States of America is crumbling before our eyes. And the way we need to wake up, and I think something's going to happen this year that is going to make a lot more of our people open their eyes and really start to scramble on trying to unify in that way. But sovereignty-centered economics, you better be getting together with your family or friends or tribe and trying to connect and pull your economics together, because we're going to be tested in a way like we've never been tested before this year.
I see.
And so that's why my goal is sovereignty-centered economic development, because we don't need them, they need us. We hold up, we're the backbone of America. And then the moment we pull out, it's going to fall.
I see. I see.
That's why they got the pastors working so hard now.
All illusions must go. Everything must go. All the fiction must go. That goes back to, and I don't be preaching this to everybody. I'm not no financial advisor. I don't care about none of that. I ain't into politics or none of that. When I be preaching about wealth and finances, that's only for the people that's on here. Like, I'm not preaching to everybody. Like, I don't pay for viewers like a lot of people pay for viewers and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking to people that care to hear. Invest you in some silver. Get your couple ounces of silver.
You better invest in your genealogy, because let me tell you why. That's the currency. That's going to be the currency. Your bloodline is the currency.
I see.
They kept you connected from your bloodline for so long to where you will say something like this. It's no point in me to do my genealogy because my ancestors were enslaved. You don't know a day in your life for a fact that none of your ancestors were enslaved, but that's just something you were gaslit with, you were brainwashed with, you were told as a kid. What I'm gonna do that stuff for? You know, I already know my ancestors weren't. It's hard for us to find out where we come from because our ancestors weren't. No, the fuck it's not. Slavery was the world's economy. It was the biggest business in the world. They kept excellent business records. They're gonna tell you what if your ancestors came from Africa. I guarantee you we can find them on a ship manifest. I guarantee you they're gonna tell you where in Africa they came from. I guarantee you they can tell you where they came from.
I'm gonna get my coins right. I'm most definitely gonna rock with you because I look, I'm gonna have fun with it.
And it is fun. It is fun because here, the way your bloodline speaks and the way epigenetic works, you will start to notice patterns, and everything is cycles, and everything is patterns, and everything blooms in sacred geometry. You will start to notice that death dates and birthdays start lining up, going back hundreds of years. Now, if that's not the same energy reincarnating, I don't know what else that is. So it's the same people coming back over and over, but now they have to fight with the new system that's in place. The only thing that changes when we come back and we reincarnate in the physical again is the system that's in place. You know, I might not have reincarnated during enslavement period. The last time my incarnation might have been Tartarian or the fall of Atlantis or whatever. It was a different system. What stalls us from waking up to who we are is that we have to get used to and adjust to the system that we're in the body, in the physical. And so our system is so polluted now with entertainment, with politics and all of those things. That's what keeps you away from figuring out what's really important. And what's really important is your legacy, your bloodline, your history, your culture, those things, because those are things that come from the land. The land is the one thing that's never going anyway. It's never going to go anywhere. They're not making any more of it either.
I see.
And your ancestors' blood is in that land.
I see. Guys, I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. Like I said, please put you can tell me your cash app or put your cash app up. I want.
Oh yeah, I put it in the chat. I did post it in the chat. It's $ I am wealthy 777. You guys can reach out to me at firetribe.org. I do have a genealogy workbook that's for sale on the site, where it basically is a step-by-step guide that teaches you guys how to do it yourself. If you want to get started on your ancestry, it tells you the sites to go to. It tells you how to do it. You know, it gives you a history, and it has some exclusive documentation in there that's kind of irrefutable. You know, once you see some things, you can't unsee it. Once you see them change your ancestors' census records from Indian to color to Black to Negro, Black Americans are the only people that will be born Indian, live colored, and die Black. You've been 3 different people in one lifetime. You know, no other people have to worry about that when they trace their ancestry. So it's a way for you guys to learn how to do the paper trail yourself, learn how to authenticate the documents yourself, and learn how to, if you choose to, and you want to go back to these tribes and say, hey, I've done my research. I know you can't dispute this. They have to let you in. They can't discriminate against you, because then you will have a lawsuit against them. That's where we see what's happening with the Cherokee and the Creek Nations and all those things, because those people know who they are.
I say. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, man, I talk to some people, and some people really like they have a dream of being all unified with the six ethers and everything else. Me, I got a dream of like when you saw the Matrix and talking to the goddess Sophia. They wrote the Matrix and Terminator, and she actually was like, no, she didn't have white characters in there. They were all black. If you remember in Zion, in the land of Zion, how they all had locks and it was all melanated, beautiful melanated people, and it was majority us. We weren't minority no more. It was like Thug Man, like our palace, you know what I'm saying? How the world used to be past 5,000-6,000 years ago. It was all nine ethers and just beautiful and high vibrations and stuff like that. And that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? That's the unity I want. And anybody that comes between that is trying. But even with unity also comes through. What's that new word they got floating around? Oh my gosh, separation from everybody else. I know there's another word for it, but yo, if we got to step away from everybody else and focus on ourselves, and knowing that we got the highest selling, like we got the highest gross as far as money power, and we got all these different things and all the talents and everything else, let's just lock in on us right now. We got way too many athletes that got this money that turn around and get this money right back to the white folks. First thing they do is marry that one of their agent's daughter or somebody's daughter and put that money right back in their pocket. Come on, we can't be that dumb. So everybody that went to college and joined them fraternities and so they're disqualified. Anybody that joined secret organizations, y'all are disqualified. Y'all can't be trusted because y'all are supposed to be so educated and y'all will sell us out in a heartbeat. You
Make your own secret organization. Make your own secret organization. That's a cheat code. That'll be a conversation for another day. But here's some things that I want to leave with people.
Yes, ma'am.
When you're hearing information, you got to ask yourself, is this person capable of getting lice? And if this person is capable of getting lice in their hair, why am I going to listen to a licensed landlord? A lice is a parasite. A lice is a flea. A lice is, if they got parasites living on them. You remember when you were in elementary school and they would call these kids out of class and they would say, go get checked for lice. We got to make sure they're not spreading it in the classroom. Why are we letting lice back into the community? Why y'all spreading lice? Okay? Grease your scalp. Stay moisturized. Stop listening to lice landlords, because some of our people only receive information if it's from
one of them. We got to cut that out.
One of the crusty crusaders.
No, we from a matriarch society, and we got to live it. We can't just talk about matriarch society when we're trying to get talking to one of these women's inbox. Live matriarch society. Listen to the elders. Listen to women that know things, because they get in the doors we ain't gonna get into. They let her in the door. You see what I'm saying? Us, we gotta fight, claw, and create our own. But she also said create our own. You know what I'm saying? We create our own. When I'm talking, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm just talking about who we are. Get your medals up. Get your coins right. God, is you were right. That's the word I couldn't say right. Maybe it was the reason I couldn't say it, but I feel it. I live that word, because we can't trust nobody, man. They are not our friends out here. So focus on each other, man. Focus on black, whatever they want to call it, man, for lack of a better word, black economics. Putting money back in the black community, investing, like the goddess said, investing in your genealogy. Like I'm going to most definitely invest with her. Invest in your history and invest in yourself. Invest in your own coins. Invest in things that represent your culture. No matter how bad it is.
Reunion. Everybody that's quote unquote woke should be organizing their family reunion this year. It might be the last year we have left, y'all. I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, under the system under what we currently are used to, it might be the last chance you get, the last opportunity that you get. But you should be organizing your family in the family reunion is so important for that. We do something called a family reunion book, where we do the genealogy for the family reunion. We put it into a print book, a book you can hold in your hand. And it's got the pictures, it's got the birth certificates, it's got the death certificates, it's got all your family history. So we do like a family history book, so you to share at your family reunion. Because if you don't do that, 100 years from now, you're going to have a licensed landlord talking about your family history as if they're you. That's how they did it the first time. That's why we have all these repetitions in last names. That's why you go to every city in the South, you got a white Browns, you got the black Browns, you got the white Greens, you got the black Greens, you got the black Johnsons, you got the white Johnsons. And we've been told, oh, those people must have enslaved us. No, they stole your ancestors' land and history and culture, and they're pretending to be you.
You're the first person that said green. Like I listen to a lot of people. I listen to Mike TV. I really love his channel. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they be saying some hurtful things, but they actually be saying some good shit. But you saying something real similar. But one thing I never noticed when I be listening to a lot of the indigenous people, nobody says the last name Green with the E on the end. You never see Green with the E on the end. What does that mean?
Oh, I particular reason, but those little things. So you will see Green spelled with the E, and then you will see Green spelled without an E. That's one's a counterfeit. One's a counterfeit. One of them is a counterfeit.
Let me know something now.
And that's how they counterfeit. That's you notice that. You'll see not Johnsons, Johnstons, but they're still in the same. Anytime you see misspelled, but it's pronounced the same way, somebody's counterfeiting somebody's ancestry.
I see.
Because when you pass away, generally your estate goes into probate. And when our ancestors couldn't read and write to pass anything down directly to their ancestors, what the European and the lice leaders would do is they would go and counterfeit your family's last name and go and steal anything that was left in your family's name. Land, property, assets, anything. And that's how a lot of the land was taken from the South. That's how a lot of the acres was taken. So not only were they running these black people out of these communities, out of these towns, Lake Lanier and all these places, they would flood and all those things like that. But what they would do to cover their trail, so now you can't come back, is they would counterfeit your last name. They would counterfeit, so they would basically change their last name to a version of your last name and then go back and claim that this was my land.
That's right.
And so that's why all of us have a story in our family of, somebody being swindled out of some land, somebody getting lynched for some land, somebody, there's always property somewhere that we knew that we got swindled out of.
I see. Guys, I appreciate you again for your time. I know we could have went through a lot of different things, but you did amazing. I most definitely want to talk to you more about that whole Yamasee thing and Temukawa thing and get from somebody that's inside perspective on things. But we appreciate for people like yourself, or melanated indigenous people, or the true indigenous people, we appreciate y'all that like taking back the culture and then giving it, letting us get through the back door. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, is there anything else that you got anything coming up anytime soon?
Oh well, not that I can directly speak on. Like we kind of talked about what's going on in Atlanta.
What's going? Yeah, the go ahead.
Yeah, so in February, so I'll probably be a part of that at TribalCon. And it's going to be a gathering of tribal nations, melanated tribal nations. My particular tribe, every single year, the first week of May, we have our green corn celebration. Our reservation is open. We have a unity festival. So we invite all tribes, and we have mostly melanated tribes, but all tribes are welcome to come. And it's a 3-day event. It's in Allendale, South Carolina. So, everybody's welcome to come up there. It's the same time every single year. It is a ritual. It's how we celebrate the New Year. It's our New Year celebration, corn celebration. And all tribes on the Southeast celebrate green corn.
I see.
And so it's a celebration. If you are looking to reconnect with our communities, we want to see you. We don't just be internet Indians, We want to see you come out and rep your ancestry. Get some information, get some knowledge, reconnect, put your feet on the ground, put some feathers in your hair. Come dance, come stomp dance with us. Come eat some corn. Come kill a gator and skin it with us.
Not kill a gator.
We eat gator. We gonna eat it. We gonna eat some snakes.
I say, well, you said it is the ritual, it's the holiday, so I guess around that time. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you. You gave us a lot of information, man, and I know we could have go way deeper because I do want to learn more about the Yamasee because we always get it from a Mongolian's perspective. But yeah, they said internet Indian is diabolical. So
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. And you know, it's some people that's just only indigenous online.
hold on one second.
Baby, at this point, happy New Easter, 4th of Halloween, thanks Christmas.
And I hope you have an amazing night. I hope to have you back soon. And thank you for your time and coming in with us tonight.
Tihi Chulaka to everyone. Peace.
Say it again. Say it again in your language.
Tihi
Yes.
Chulaka. So speak to you later. See you again. Till we meet again. Till we talk again. That's what that means.
I say appreciation.
Power from the deep rises. Creation finds its voice again.
The mothers have returned. Behold, the Matriarch.
We are the light, the water, and the shadow.